Okie dokie, let's go into some ranked games with a random character and see what we're going to get today. And it looks like we are playing the big old Berserker with our utility pouch, which means we could try to go for Halberd or a Steel Dragon type play. So I do think we want to go for it. So we want to grab that whetstone that is on sale. We want to grab the broom then as well with the garlic too, and another stone would be kind of nice. I'm also contemplating the shiny shell, but I'm going to roll because I want a second weapon. And we could go hammer, Steel Dragon type build. Sounds like a plan. Potentially. I also want to grab this for now as well. We want to speed over to this side so we can craft up that shovel as well. And we'll make sure we're crafting up the right thing too. And have our garlic in with you as well. We can take the small bit of blinds. And we're going to take the hammer in the next round with the shovel as well. So that's going to be a bit of a tasty situation, because we are going to be running through stamina like there's no tomorrow. And speaking of stamina, it's a big old hammer. We leaves on 1 HP, but can we win out? Yeah. Hell yeah, we can. Just barely though. However, we do get ourselves our shovel. So the thing is, I actually really want to grab this hammer. We started in up top. We're making fantastic uses of this improved whetstone, that's for sure. But I'm also contemplating on grabbing ourselves some healing herbs with the cell blueberries, but I think we need to roll to find ourselves not an axe, but a big old banana. To pretty much help with our stamina. We are going to take it, we're going to slot it in here as well. And I do think we might want to venture on with this. Although I still want to roll once, looking for an extra whetstone. I'll be taking piggy bank, we can explode as well as a leather bag. Or a bit of storage. But let's move on with this. Now we are going to be running through stamina like there's no tomorrow, because you're going to be pretty much 1.2 stamina cost, and you're going to be 0.5. So can we actually win out with this setup? But it does have a shield eating up some of our stamina, which is not ideal either. We do end up missing it with this hammer, which is really, really bad for us. We are out of stamina proccing right now, but we do hit for 11, and it's still not looking too bad, even though our opponent has a lot of buffs. The problem is, this shell totem is going to be giving us some heals, so we do need our hammer to hit once and pretty hard. However, that just didn't happen. However, we do get our essence of steel as well, and we can go for an echo battle cry on that. Or we could go for a spicy banana, since we're going to use up a lot of stamina. The other option is going for King of the Bling, getting some rings. Honestly, it might take it, because if we get ourselves in Amethyst Steel, that's going to be really, really fantastic for us. Alright, let's grab our storage. Let's also grab you too. And we do get ourselves a ring. Not sure if I do want to grab this one. Opponent drops below 70%. Gain in power, that's the thing I'm looking for. The cold I don't really care about. I'm also going to sell this little gemstone though. So we can go ahead and grab this and smash it open, which does give us another ring. That is going to be some blind stacking at the start of battle. And some regen as well, which honestly, you don't really care too much about. We actually got some decent whetstones as well. So we're going to have a lot of damage. We could go for Falcon Blade with the essence of steel. We could just craft up multiple of these. And that's kind of what I want to go for. But let's move on. Let's crack open this piggy bank to get some extra monies, most of all. And we took a skill that's not really going to help us right now. But if we get some amethyst steel, we can get a crazy amount of power and increase our damage based on how much block we're going to have. And that would be ideal for us. But is this hammer shovel combo at the very beginning actually really going to pay off for us? Because again, another shield eating up our stamina. It is stacking up spikes. However, we do get 3 blind onto opponents, decreasing that accuracy. So we might still win. However, the heals from all this regen, yeah, unfortunately, we might be being a bit too greedy with our setup at the moment. But we do get a freaking kind. You're also an wait, I thought you were an accessory or gemstone. What the hell am I talking about then? I'm going to take a bit of storage and I'm going to roll. Another piggy bank, which is an accessory, does give us an amulet, and we're taking this in a heartbeat. Also, every 6 seconds gain 2 luck could scale up our accuracy nicely. Now, you're also an accessory that will give us some gemstones. Also, this is not the one I was looking for, but if we pair this with an amethyst steel, it's going to be nice. I'm also going to take you. Health drops below 50%, gain 5 vampirism. This I will gladly take, because it will allow us to heal up just a little bit, especially if we get some daggers going too. But again, we do got to move on. We're going to move on with this situation. We should be able to get some random buffs. Hopefully some vampirism, 2 spikes and a bit of luck. It does increase our accuracy. Our opponent will take some chip damage with the spikes. But it's going to be enough to win out. This time around, it's looking a lot better for us. 1,000,000%, and hell yeah. Not bad. We get our coins, and every accessory on sale we want to take. Now, every 6 seconds gain 2 heat as well. That's really, really awesome. So the ideal thing to get would be the vampirism, the empower, and the heat from this. Do we gamble and get both? I'm kind of down to get both, right? Yeah, let's take both. Now it does give us this as well, which is actually fantastic. I'm going to sell both, and it will be taken out. And use another unidentified amulet. This is going to be nuts for it. We're going to gotta take you out and place you in. Add this in as well. This vampirism is going to be fantastic, actually. A little bit of poison is going to go a long way as well, and we might want to take this lighter bag. I am tempted to grab this, but I'm also kind of scared to grab it. Because again, we want to grab ourselves another amulet. The problem is, we need to find some wicked daggers. And we're tied up grabbing these instead. So we might have to pivot to a Bloodthorn type situation. Maybe. We do get lots of spikes, we get a vampirism. We should be able to heal up with every hit as well. Problem is, we're using a super slow hammer with a shovel as well. Our opponent does have an armor steel. They have 4 in power. We're going to be getting some more in power with this as well. And this dagger is going to be dealing some damage too. Especially since the banana can scale up their heat from 2. Yeah, this is going to be kind of scary because this is going to deal some big damage. However, never mind. We smash over no problem at all. Now what you got for us? Start of all, we lost the vampirism. We get a crazy amount of spikes, we get a lot of power, and every 4 seconds to gain 2 heat. That's not bad. Definitely not bad. You know, it's an accessory, which I'm going to grab. Well, it's going to take. I'm going to steal. This is fantastic. Now this gives us vampirism as well, which is even better for us. Twine badge. I mean, we could go for practically large Bloodthorn with this instead of this hammer dagger action. So it's going to be a lot more difficult to get our daggers, especially right now. Alright, do you want to grab this storage though? And do we take this? Start ball, gain 3 vampirism. I think so, because it gives us 2 insanely awesome buffs as well. So we can increase your base stamina regen with this topaz as well. And yeah, we might pivot away from hammer dagger action. But the hammer steel is going to be nice, especially with double essences of steel as well. Although we don't have it on our hammer, which might not be super ideal. So this is going to be really nice for us. We're going to have essence of steel in here, targeting both our weapons. We should be able to get you up as well. We're going to get a little bit of extra block on our armor steel as well. And yeah, this should be kind of nice. I'm also going to keep our twine badge. Grab ourselves 1 twine and then move on. Because we could go for a practically large Bloodthorn, which I'm kind of down for. But can we beat this Serpent Staff? It's super speedy. That's going to steal our buffs. They got a lot of heats. We have 8 in power, making our hammer deal 30 to 34 damage. This hammer's going to be smashing. And moving out. Hell yeah, we can. Not bad at all. And that's our first dagger. Maybe we could still go for this dagger action. I mean, it would be kind of nice, right? Since it is here, I might take it for now. That's going to be a lot of damage on one single dagger. And we could go for vampiric armor instead of a vampiric dagger. But I'm also going to sell this. So vampiric armor or another magic ring. I mean, the vampiric armor is going to be crazy good for this. So yeah, I'll be taking it. It's going to give us a lot more block. It's going to give us a crazy amount of power stacked up for our hammer dagger action, which should be even better for us. Now I'm still going to grab this. We could grab a ring though instead. Give us a vampirism from the beginning. This might actually be better for us. So if we sell this and then we take it, it does give us another one, which will give us heat every 2 seconds. Or every 6 seconds gives 2 heat. Yeah, this might be worth grabbing as well, because we can go turbo speed with all this heat stacking if we get super lucky. Now, if you want to keep the rest of this stuff, I mean, we could sell you and 2 garlics and 2 stones and go ahead and grab this too. Or we could sell you as well. But I think I'm happy enough rocking on with this sort of situation for now. Grab these in the next runs. We should be able to get a decent bit of power. We did lose our shovel, but we got ourselves a dagger that is going to be triggered whenever we do stun our opponent. Especially with all this in power as well. Yeah, that's insane damage. That's the whole reason why I was going for this hammer dagger action. The question is, what the hell do we want to go for? We could go for Wolf Emblem, go for some pets and give ourselves a crit chance. We could also go for the anvil. We do have a lot of crafted items. And we could speed up our hammer. Or we just do the crazy thing and take the brass knuckles. Not really that crazy. This have 50% chance to stun, making our daggers deal a lot more damage. Yeah, I'm going to grab this. And we can also grab some heroic pots. But let's take you first of all. Here's another one. Click the blinded coals, which we do not really care about. And a solid garlic. We'll go ahead and take this. Now, honestly, this is actually looking kind of juicy, especially since we got a second one. And we may want to go for that. So the good news is we moved our set of rounds, so we can try to get as much in power from this as we possibly can get. We should have Essence Steel. Given damage to brass knuckles along with our hammer dagger action, and yeah, we're going to rock on with this sort of situation. Are we going to grab this? Honestly, with Ceramics of Alchemy, we should be able to rock one potion, and then we should be in a great spot to just have infinite stamina. That's why I don't have our hammer inside our freaking starter bag, along with this as well, because we want this to go as fast as possible, and that's 16 power. Yeah, we just smash it with no problems at all. Like, it's just an absurd amount of damage, and we could pivot into a big old busted blade. You're an accessory, we'll grab you. Those give us another ring, which will give us starting mana if you want it as well. Also, we got more heats. More heat, we do lose the vampirism again though, which is really, really bad for us. However, if our health drops below, we get a lot of empower, and we also get a lot of empower if our opponent drops below, which is kind of nice. However, let's grab this first of all, and we are going to sell our region to go ahead and take this. And the question is, do we want to craft it up? And the answer is hell yeah, I do. Now again, do we want to go for this? Probably not. But we do want to take this amulet just in case there is another amulet steal. And I do want to add this in and just let it kind of recombobulate itself. Looks like we're kind of going for hammer dagger action, which means I might get rid of this if we can actually fit it in properly. Yeah, we can fit it in like this. So we're going to just get rid of this by itself. Might place you back in, and we should be in a great spot, potentially. We still have our King of the Bling as well, trying to get extra buffs from this too, and our opponent does have a big old busted blade with 94% crit chance. This is where we could be toast. If we stun him, it shouldn't matter too much. I mean, with 10 in power? Hell yeah, we can. Not bad. Definitely not bad. And we got ourselves that freaking strong rock bot, and we got ourselves a spear and a fanny pack. Fanny pack's going to be great because we want on our brass knuckles, and we could actually go for the dragon side. Although we do already get ourselves by the holy light. And you're a holy item, and you're a holy item, so we can speed up our rings even faster as well. I mean, 40% speed going from 4 seconds down to what? 2.6? 2.7, around that? It's a lot of speed, a lot of heat generation. And this does require us to find a lot to actually get the lifesteal. So you know what? Let's actually take this. However, let's also grab this as well, as it is an amulet of life. We'll take a second one. And we can take another one. Oh, we're selling this and we're grabbing it. So many amulets. And health drops below 50%, just double in power. Yeah, that's crazy. Again though, we need some extra daggers. That's the problem we're having right now. 1,000,000%. And we also got this amulet of energy, which means we can pretty much target this instead. Can that pop off immediately? We can also place this back in. We could sell 2 garlics here, which I'm down for, to go ahead and grab this custom card too. Just because this can give us higher value items. But we've also got ourselves an amulet of light as well, which I'm not going to lie, really would like to sit in here. But we might have to place it back in this spot for now. Because we want to speed up our rings, we want to get as much value from it as possible with our King of the Bling as well. And we'll see how this actually turns out for us. Yeah, let's keep moving on. So this should be a lot of damage on this one singular dagger. 14 to 18 damage per hit, which is kind of madness. And we stun our opponent immediately with our brass knuckles, which does increase our accuracy, so if our opponent does stack with some debuffs, yeah, it's not going to be too much of an issue for us. Definitely not. And we could grab ourselves a heart container. If we had more stones, we could have went for a stone golem as well. Well, let's take this magic ring. It does give us another one, which honestly at this point, yeah, I don't want this ring. I'm going to roll down, and we could take a prismatic orb, and maybe pivot into a prismatic sword type build. Which wouldn't be too bad either, right? Yeah, I'm down to take it. We can also grab ourselves another armor though. But let's focus on grabbing this prismatic orb. Yeah, we're probably going to try and pivot away from the hammer dagger action. We could keep our dagger though, but get rid of the hammer and just go for a prismatic sword. I mean, we immediately stun our opponent twice. We pretty much have 10% crit chance. Not a whole lot of crit chance, but that's a crazy amount of power. And yeah, we're stunned opponents and we do smash over it. Making me really want to keep her hammer, if I'm being honest. However, let's grab you. It does give us another freaking amulet. I'm going to save our money immediately and take that. The problem is, I would love to place this in to try and get as much holy items from the get-go. So I'm wondering, should we try to go for that, or should we just grab ourselves that small bit of vampirism? Because that's going to go a long way as well. I mean, we could also move it over here, so we should be able to speed it up. We get 8% increased healing efficiency. We get that small bit of vampirism. And it's not looking too bad, right? Now let's get sped up by the holy light. This is also in a better spot as well, targeting most of our rings too. I'm kind of happy with this. So let's get moving on once again. We definitely want to grab this. We want to find some stone skin pots, which we haven't found a single one just yet. We do start off with 4 power. Our opponent does have a big old Bloodthorn, which is going to get a lot of vampirism, lots of heals, lots of damage. However, tons of vampirism with 15 in power. Yeah, we should be able to smash out, right? Although they have crazy amounts of vampirism. Never mind, we smash them immediately. Not a chance. Should we take our points and run? Why the hell was that so loud? I mean, we do have a 45 DPS, which isn't too bad at the end of the day. Especially when our opponent does have a Cabinet Comfort for damage reduction. As well as another 25% since the Art of Berserker. In terms of heals, we only had 25 healing per second. With about 53 max health gained. And in terms of block, we did have another 25 blocks. So about 50 defenses, about 45 offenses. So, yeah, I do think we can continue on for sure. Now that's a Steel Dragon. So the thing about the Steel Dragon is, it actually gives us plus 6 damage on our weapons. It also flex 8 debuffs, and it gives us 40% block on our block items. If we stack up a bunch of potions, this is going to be phenomenal for us. So we do want to take this, and pretty much add it in immediately. Now I might actually reserve this one, and go ahead and grab it, see what it's going to be. Amulet Feasting. Honestly, this one can pretty much go. But we got to take the Dragon Egg. And yeah, I'm going to sell it. We don't really want food items. Another Amulet Light's actually kind of crazy for us. It definitely is. We take out its stone and we grab another one. But we're going to hatch up this dragon, which honestly will give us a decent bit of heat too. Maybe speed up our hammer as well. Okay, let's get moving on once again. So imagine if we did have multiple daggers in this spot right now. It would be kind of crazy for us. Now, our opponent is going to be stacking up coals, looking like they're going for a snow stick. We kind of caught him before that. We also got Hocus Pocus, which is just a crazy powerful skill. But is it going to matter too much?
Yeah.
1 million%, not even close. We're just smashing through opponents. We could go for a Poison Dagger. Yeah, I don't really want that. Let's grab you. Hammer of Darkness, as well as a break-in ring that's going to give us vampirism. Yeah, we'll be taking that. And the question is, do we want to craft it up with this magic ring? I actually don't think I really do, if I'm being 1 million% honest. Also, this is going to have to sit in here. It's not too fantastic. I'm going to sell 1 stone to keep rolling though. And we could sell 2 more stones to grab this pocket sand. It is an accessory, which might lead to another ring, and it does. Unfortunately, not a ring we do want. Now, Vampiric Dagger could be phenomenal. It's a lot of gold for it though. Should we go for it? I mean, definitely. We definitely want to go for it.
Okay.
This is going to give us a lot more strikeability, and holy freaking shielded, we could be in a bad spot. Especially with that Holy Spear, which will be shredding our armor, and you're going to be getting rid of a lot of skilling damage and a lot of buffs. 1 million%. We've got a decent bit of heat, speeding everything up. The faster we get this fast enough going, the more we scale up our accuracy and our crit chance as well. But the problem is, they've taken a lot of our buffs and scaled up a lot of their power. So unfortunately, yeah, this time around, we're going to be smashed over. And that's the thing I was talking about. Being a hammer with a single dagger might not be good enough to actually win out. However, let's take you. Does give us another ring, inflicting poison we do not care about. And that is a second prismatic orb. Make me kind of want to take that too. However, let's make sure we get this dagger crafted up. Can we take a second one? I mean, what's the likelihood of us finding a wooden sword? Kind of slim. You're an accessory, we'll take every 6 seconds gain 2 vampirism. I'm going to sell this immediately to grab this. And it will be crafting up with this one. Really hoping that we get both vampirisms. 1000%. And yeah, let's go moving on. So we should be able to get a little bit more vampirism with this too. And we are facing... Wait, I never crafted with a dragon. What the hell am I doing? Yeah, that's on me. I moved a little bit too fast for this. Because I've seen this with the daggers. Yeah, they're going to have a crazy amount of damage. But these rings are just really carrying us. Like, insanely carrying us. And this is where we could pivot it into that freaking busted blade as well. However, let's grab this. Another ring, which will be kind of nice. We could also sell this so we can grab a fanny pack, which I'm down for. And let's actually craft up this dragon. It's about time, right? The problem is, do we want to try and scale up crit chance on it? Or do we just craft it up for this round and leave it as it is? Because I mean, it does get a lot of damage from all the power stacking. So maybe. But also, our prismatic orbs, all our rings are all in a fantastic, crazily awesome spot in this position though. So I might actually leave it for now, as mad as that is. But once we get our Steel Dragon, we should be able to get a lot more block from this Vampiric Armor. We should be able to get a crazy amount of damage on our weapon situation. And one hammer, one dagger might actually win us out. However, never mind. There's going to be a lot of blind on us. And if we don't hit with our freaking brass knuckles, we don't get a crits, we don't get our accuracy. So an eye lump on this would be kind of smashing for us. And unfortunately, yeah, the blind stack, it does smash us over. Not ideal. We get our steel dragon. Let's also grab you too. Another ring. Also, what did this give us? Every 4 seconds get 2 vampirism? Yeah, that's amazing. We lost out of vampirism, but that's going to be okay. Now, every 6 seconds, gain 2 heats and spikes. Yeah, I'll be taking up, but first take the gloves. We didn't get anything else. Let's go ahead and grab you. And it does give us another amulet, which is a second amulet steel, and that's amazing. Problem is, we do need to set up our inventory just a little bit differently. So I'll be back in a second while I do that. So honestly, I was thinking about moving on in this direction. We got our brass knuckles in this position to begin getting a lot of damage from this one Panzer Dragon. But it's also going to give damage to our hammer, our brass knuckles, and our freaking bloody dagger. But it's also going to give a crazy amount of block to vampiric armor along with our amulets of steel as well. We use both amulets of energy on our hammer to pretty much hit with this immediately. Even though I would like to place it on our brass knuckles, but if we get this going extremely fast, we can actually activate this a little bit faster than pretty much activating this twice and getting that little bit of extra power. I'm still going to roll though. That is the second one. And that is a prismatic sword pivot. But it's a little bit late, right? It is the second round. It is the final round to craft. Do we want to make the pivot right now? That is the real question, because we definitely could afford that. I mean, the answer is kind of nice, right? Because we would have a super speedy freaking prismatic sword. Honestly, let's do it. The problem is we do have to freaking wait around to craft it up, which is not as ideal. Now I'm still going to continue to roll, and we could grab ourselves this helmet if we want to, and we can also maybe target our vampiric armor to activate super speedy, because if it drops us below a certain amount of HP, we can trigger our rings, but we do have to drop below 50%, so it is quite a bit. The helmet is going to be nice. It will stop us from being smashed over just a little bit, so I might actually grab it as well. I'm not going to craft up this ring. I do want to keep these as they are. So I don't want to lose that in power. Got a lot of in power, but let's venture on. We might have a bit of trouble winning this one out since we got rid of our hammer. Especially going to begin a shielded freaking moon shield with an amethyst steel once again, as well as a lightning staff. So can we beat through their armor? I mean, with our dragon, we should be able to deal some big damage. Our dagger is going to be smashed as well, and we don't really rely too much on stamina except for a little tiny wooden sword. But unfortunately, shielded again the second time facing a crazy build like this. There's not much we can do about that, right? However, we do get a prismatic sword, and that is a holy armor as well as the helmet. Let's roll again, and we could grab ourselves Jin's lamp, which is a holy magic item, which will be kind of nice for a prismatic sword, right? Because it will give it the scaling as well as the attack speed. So the real question is, do we want to have our prismatic sword in this spot, getting that a little bit extra damage from Panzer Dragon, but also have our brass knuckles on it, because we could slightly move it over, right? But it's going to be a lot more difficult to get our freaking vampirism stacked up on it. But also get the damage from this as well. But also get the crit chance from this too. So we can lose on one slot on a prismatic sword, which wouldn't feel that great if I'm being honest. And since we missed out on some vampiric items, we don't get as much vampirism as I would like on this. We do have quite a bit actually for, which is 60% lifesteal. We do have that small bit of skilling damage as well. I mean, we could add in another ring, which will give us a lot of damage skilling on that as well. The problem with our setup is it is going to be going slower in the utility pouch. So we do need to swap this over to this side, if you want that as well. I mean, we could also just switch it to be more like so. Have it over here, we still get our vampirism. We would lose on one vampirism, but that should be okay. We still get our crits, we lose on one slot specifically, then we can have this back in. And then we can go turbo scaling damage with pretty much this whole setup as well. Although we might have to place it more like so. So we would lose on a lot of lifesteal. Well, it's actually just one extra lifesteal, but we would get an insane amount. A crazy amount of scaling damage on this, and it's going to be going super speedy with about a holy light. We should be able to get extra damage. We should be able to get a decent bit of power with double of these amulets as well. And again, we should be in a great spot to potentially win out. The problem is, what the hell are we going to use this on? Vampiric armor? Possibly. Helmet will be kind of nice as well for some damage reduction, so maybe we'll take this for now as well. Add that in. Have our potions being targeted by you as well. We could sell our gloves, which I'm kind of down for as well. And do we want to grab this actually? Because again, if we stack up loads of buffs, we can actually lamp. And that I'm not opposed to. So yeah, I'm going to sell this. I thought this was going to be much nicer with the dragon, but I'm going to sell it. We can take it. It does give us another amulet, which I'm kind of tempted to grab. But we're not really going to be able to actually grab it. And we could place this in to speed up our prismatic sword. We could use it to stop us from being smashed out as well. And I'm wondering what we should place in instead of this. Because we want pretty much all these items. So do we get rid of one amulet of alchemy? I mean, I might actually have to get rid of it. Which doesn't feel so great, but this is going to be a final build. The pivot to the prismatic sword in final rounds, I think is going to give us a better chance at actually just winning out completely. Instead of the hammer. Even though the hammer does stun quite a bit, but yeah, this should be fantastic, right? Lots of lifesteal, loads of block, loads of damage. We'll see. We are going to begin a cold stacking build with Dark Sabers, so we could still be in trouble with all these debuffs. We kind of need to smash out fast. And with 16 in power, you're going to be 63 DPS. We use stun our opponents, stopping them from inflicting those debuffs. And we really need to go faster. Because that blind is stacking up. Our accuracy is 80% still, never mind. It's not going to be close. And hell yeah. Not bad. And in terms of DPS, we did pivot to 100 DPS. So you can see the prismatic sword was definitely the right call. Our opponent did have a 30 DPS by the end of it, but we did stun him as well. Now in terms of heals, we had 90 healing per second, actually 83, with about 60 max health gain from Ram's Light. And in terms of block, we did have another 60 block per second, so we skyrocketed our defenses, but also increased our damage as well. And King of Bling, just an always super fun skill, getting amulets, stacking up those amulets, getting some crazy rings, giving us an insane amount of buffs. But anyways, with this, we have 2 lives left. How much rank points are we going to get from this? +9, ranking us up to 68. Hell yeah. But anyways, stick around. I'm going to jump us around 80 fights to see if this build can actually win out. So let's see if we can actually win out against some round 80 builds. We are facing a Thornbloom with the Poison Ivy. We're going to be trying to stack up some poison. But we get so much buffs that it's not going to be close, right? It's definitely not looking close at all. And we do have about 50% crit chance. Not bad. Crit chance kind of duty trash though. However, can we take on a snake with a Dark Saber as well as a Fancy Rapier? It's going to be lots of debuffs, lots of poison, lots of damage, as well as a Fancy Rapier that might get some invincibility as well. But never mind, we should be able to smash out hell yeah. Now can we deal with a Hocus Pocus Hunger Blade scale type situation with the Tiger Runes? We're going to be getting lots of buffs. And the same amount of buffs, actually a lot faster than we're getting our buffs. And they do stun us as well, didn't they? Or did we stun them? For a second there I thought they stunned us. Never mind. We're winning out, no problems at all. Hell yeah. And finally, can we take on a friendly fire katana? They're going to be removing our skilling damage, so that's going to be kind of dicey with a prismatic sword. It stops us from scaling up a lot of buffs. But can we win out? Because we did stun them, but they also kind of stunned us back, right? I mean, this katana is potentially going to be lamped as well for even more damage, but never mind. We smash out with hell yeah.